Now we're going to focus our attention on the middle class of the Tourenwagen Trophy. That is the 2.5 litre, normally aspirated category, dominated in the past for 7 years now by the BMW M3. 224 brake horsepower from the 2.3 litre M3 engine. And a weight of 1,200 kilos, agile handling, superb road holding makes that car hard to beat. And this may be the car that may be trying to beat it. The 2.5 litre 325i Coupe, the glorious sounding 6-cylinder engine, but it doesn't quite develop the power yet of the older, more established 4-cylinder M3 engine. It's also a heavier car. It has a complex Z-axle rear suspension system. It works superbly on the road, but you put it onto the racetrack, you've given yourself an awful lot of development problems. Well, one of the drivers, the lady racer Annette Mervison, moving down from the German Touring Car Championship to help develop the new 3.5 litre coupe. She said the coupe drivers have got a lot of work to do. We have some advantages. We've got better aerodynamics, a new ABS anti-lock braking system, but she says at the moment, in the early stages of this brand new car's development, we're still a little bit behind the BMW M3. Well, Annette Mervison taking the brave move to move back from an under-financed drive in the German Touring Car Championship to drive the Group N cars in the Tourenwagen Trophy. A very quick lady, and one I'm sure that is going to be worth watching as we move to Hockenheim for the first round again of the championship. Now we're looking at the 2.5 litre cars, and it's Andy Mittendorf and Franz Dufter first and second on the grid in the older shape BMW M3s, but Michael Neumeister going for a quick spin after taking the lead ahead of Anton Gerser. Well, Gerser now moves ahead as Neumeister takes a bow. So it's Anton Gerser ahead of Andy Mittendorf, then Franz Dufter in third place, Manfred Vollgarten in fourth. And this battle set to go on for the entire race around the 4.5 miles of the Hockenheim. The M3s continuing their domination, almost making this a one-make race. But the action continues because now it's Mittendorf making his move ahead of Gerser, taking the class lead. Mittendorf dives through in the red car, Gerser in the blue car in second place, then the two white cars of Dupre and Vollgarten. But watch out for Dupre, he's making a move too. BMW M3 then continuing its domination of the class in the opening race of the season. The coupes suffering development problems and hand signals going on as Dupre forces his way inside Gerser. Gerser closes the door on Manfred Vollgarten at the chicane, but meanwhile Heinz-Robert Holzer, the Koblenz driver, a local driver to this circuit, hits the concrete walls and heads for retirement. But now, even the BMW M3s are not invincible. Smoke from Mittendorf's car. That is going to mean problems for him. So Mittendorf at the head of the field leaves it all wide open as he begins to slow. That turned out to be rear axle failure on Mittendorf's car. So the action goes on without him. So it's now Gerser, Dupre, Dufter and Wagenstetter setting the pace. And this 2.5 litre class once again developing its reputation for very spectacular racing as Wagenstetter pushes Dufter wide. Wagenstetter moves up to second place at the checkered flag behind Klaus Dupre. So Klaus Dupre from Schiffweiler takes the checkered flag at the first race. Martin Wagenstetter takes that second place and Franz Dufter pushed down to third. So more action coming up. Join us after the break.
Kick off with Football Holland at 8:30.
Welcome back to our Fascination Motorsport special as we take a look at the German Tourenwagen Trophy for Group N saloon cars. And we're back at the Nürburgring, the classic circuit, the Nordschleife, the long 14-mile loop through the woods, and Franz Dufter, pole position man, saying that the Group N BMW is exactly the right car for the Nordschleife. So after this race, I'm taking part in the 24-hour race on the Nürburgring with a German Touring Car Championship Group A car, but this is a much more sensible car. It's pure fun. You can make it fly on the Nordschleife. Well, this is the middle class, don't forget, of the German Touringwagen Trophy, and this was a very spectacular race. Burgstaller leads initially in the new coupe, but then retired and towed into the pits, allowing Manfred Wohlgarten to take the lead. Well, behind Wohlgarten, a big battle building up ahead of number 27. That's Franz Dufter enjoying his driving through the murk in the BMW M3. Then it's Martin Wagenstetter battling with him all the way, and Udo Schneider in the second of the 325i coupes. And such was the pace of the 2.5-litre cars, some of them getting very close indeed to the big, powerful Group N 2.5-litre turbocharged Sierra Cosworths. And at Dottinger Höhe, making their way through the mist, holding on to the tail of the Sierra Cosworth. That is the BMW coupe of Udo Schneider, moving up ahead of Franz Dufter. Wohlgarten there also in the battle. First the Sierra Cosworth, he's in the leading class, the big class. We'll look at them later, but this was the battle for the middle class, the 2.5-litre cars. The coupe using its aerodynamics on the long, 3-mile-long Dottinger Höhe straight. But the twisty bits come up, and straight away the M3s are back taking the advantage. The advanced suspension system of the coupe still not quite perfect for the twists, turns and undulations of the Nürburgring. Out through the murk, and it's Schneider being attacked now by Neumeister. Michael Neumeister from Nürnberg, a local driver. He knows this circuit, this daunting circuit, like the back of his hand. But at the final lap, heading to the checkered flag, it was Manfred Wohlgarten ahead of Franz Dufter, enjoying making the M3 fly, as he put it, and heading behind Wohlgarten as Wohlgarten takes victory in round 3 at the Nürburgring. So the checkered flag, Wohlgarten from Dufter, then Schneider, the best result so far from the coupe, ahead of Neumeister. But back to Zandvoort now, round 5 of the championship. Pole position man Franz Dufter leads the field away, the 2.5-litre cars jostling for position in to the Tarzan curve. And it's Michael Neumeister leading the race in car number 29, the leading 2.5-litre car, but spins for 2 of the coupes. The blue coupe is Andreas Lautner, Alexander Burgstaller in the silver coupe, and Burgstaller into the pits. Well, Burgstaller retiring for the 4th time in 5 races so far, but more problems. That's Annette Mervison, takes a big spin. Front-end damage on the coupe continues at the moment, but she too was heading for retirement. So now at the head of the field in the 2.5-litre class, it's Michael Neumeister leading Franz Dufter again. But look at the battle behind, as taking a spin, number 21, Andreas Lautner, comes off worst in his collision with Matschul in car number 5. Alexander Matschul in the Nissan Skyline continues in the big class, but the 2.5-litre battle also going on, and it's Dufter now leading ahead of Wohlgarten, Neumeister, Dupre and Middendorf. And that battle for 4th place now between number 32, Klaus Dupre, and number 29, Michael Neumeister. But it wasn't set to go much further. The car spins across the track. That is Dupre out of his almost certain top 4 finish. Middendorf now able to drive into 3rd place, but at the head of the field, it's Franz Dufter now in the lead ahead of Manfred Wohlgarten. So that was the way it was set to go to the checkered flag in round 5. Dufter, Wohlgarten, Middendorf and Neumeister, but more drama after the end of the race because Franz Dufter was disqualified. His car was weighed after the race and it was found to be 21 kilos too light. So the jubilation short-lived for Franz Dufter. On then to round 6 of the championship, the Salzburg Ring. This twisting, turning and very fast circuit high in the Austrian mountains. And pole setter again, Udo Schneider, the first pole position for the new coupe. We ride with Anton Gerser in number 25. Ahead of him is Markus Gedlich in the black BMW M3, the yellow M3 of Andreas Wagenstetter. Martin Wagenstetter, I beg your pardon, and there the field powering through with Andy Mittendorf in the lead. Then it's Volgarten, Gedlich in number 38, Schneider in number 26, Wagenstetter, Neumeister in 31, Andreas Lautner in the blue coupe, all fighting for that second place in the class. Mittendorf then in the lead, and then the battle goes on. Volgarten and Gedlich riding with Anton Gerser, and a slip for Andreas Wagenstetter. He is out. Let's take another look at that. Gerser tries to get out of the way, but Burgstaller into the barriers. So two bent motor cars, but the battle went on. And this are the three leading cars. Volgarten now missing two, so it's Gedlich now past him into second place. Mittendorf leading the race under pressure from Gedlich, and then Volgarten in third place. The classic constant radius curves of the Salzburg ring, absolutely perfect for the drifting, four-wheel drifting BMW M3s, and taking the checkered flag. It's Andy Mittendorf from Markus Gedlich, and then Volgarten, Manfred Volgarten taking that third place. As we head now to the airfield circuit at Siegerland, round 7 of the championship. Manfred Volgarten in pole position, Andy Mittendorf second on the grid, and it was the other way round in the early stages of the race. Mittendorf leading this car, number 33, that's Manfred Volgarten. Sponsored by a company that makes the anti-lock braking for the BMWs. Unfortunately, they don't make the gearboxes, though. Volgarten, out of the race, gives the car a kick in his disgust. Out of the race, that is going to do his championship chances some damage. There you see the leading cars going through, then a spin from the 2.5 litre leader, that's Andy Mittendorf, which allows Neumeister, Michael Neumeister from Nürnberg, the man we saw dominating in the wet at the Nürburgring, to head for the lead. This is the battle, though. Neumeister and Wagenstetter battling all the way to the checkered flag. Wagenstetter takes the checkered flag, then takes the class victory ahead of Neumeister. Andy Mittendorf takes a fine third place in the class. And again, the celebrations for the 2.5 litre class winners. Final round of the 2.5 litre championship then. Volgarten and Wagenstetter equal on points going into the final round at the Avesring at Berlin. Burgstaller takes pole position, but he's only finished one race so far, and it was a start-to-finish win by Anton Gerser ahead of Martin Wagenstetter and Alexander Burgstaller. So there we see Manfred Volgarten takes the championship in 2.5 litre class by just 4 points from Michael Neumeister. Martin Wagenstetter a fine third place. So the 2.5 litre champion, Manfred Volgarten.